there, adventurers, and welcome back to another episode of The Awkward Dungeon Master. This week, I want to talk to you guys about building upon those who came before us. So I really wanted to call this episode Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, because there are a lot of people who have come before the Dungeon Masters that are coming into the game now, myself included. 3 years is really young for a Dungeon Master. I know people, and I have talked to people that have been running this game since the 80s. They've been playing for 30 plus years in this community, and they've watched it grow and change. They've been through all of the editions, and I mean, I even do this too. I get some of the editions mixed up at times just because I have played a couple different ones. There's a lot of material out there. And I think it's important to listen to the people who came before us because they've gone through all of those changes with the game. And they've had the opportunity to learn and adapt from those things as they've gone on. If they're still playing this game, if they have transitioned to the new editions. And I think there's a lot to be learned, especially from people who put their content out there for people to consume. So myself, I never would have started DMing if we hadn't watched a lot of Critical Role in the first campaign. We had not had the best experience the first time we came to a Dungeons & Dragons table. We just didn't enjoy the type of game that person was running. It wasn't immersive or engaging for us as people. So it just didn't really work out. We had different personality types, different wants and needs from that game that were not being met. So it was better for us to just stop playing. And then we saw Critical Role. Initially, my husband found it online. He said, "You have to see this. It is so cool. We gotta check this out together. I'm willing to rewatch the first 4 episodes that I watched without you again to see if you like it too, and then we can watch it together." And we did that. And what that did for me was give me an opportunity to see what this game is capable of. I was able to watch Matthew Mercer, Dungeon Master, and I know there's a lot of flack online because there is the Matt Mercer effect where players have an unrealistic expectations of Dungeon Masters coming to the table. And that is fair. However, we as Dungeon Masters can still take inspiration and soak up some of that energy watching other people run the game. And sometimes if you're getting into a rut, watching other people run their games and kind of getting feels for different kinds of styles and ways of approaching running the game is good for getting those creative juices flowing. And if you're having a problem, chances are you're not the first person to have it, so you can probably go online and find somebody else who's had the problem you're having right now. And it's going to save you a lot of time on fixing it. So you don't have to go through the hours and hours of adjustments and things to fix the problem that you're having because somebody else has already done it. As far as I'm concerned, there is no shame in that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with going online and finding another Dungeon Master, somebody you look up to, somebody who has more experience than you, and building off of stuff that they've already done. Now, if you're using someone else's material in a public play space, definitely give them credit. Don't try and take that as your own. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with utilizing material that has been put out there for you to use. And there are a lot of people that are willing to help newer GMs with problems that they're having. We have a very similar relationship locally with our friend Erik, who runs the con. He has that podcast. My husband and I have been guests on his podcast multiple times now. And personally, I've picked up a ton of great ideas chit-chatting with all those guys because being able to talk to people who have been running tabletop RPG games longer than me is a blessing. And it is so helpful to be able to sit down and run through issues that I'm having with my games, or even just to sit down and throw around ideas, because people have this wonderful way of taking your idea, making it better, and then throwing it back at you. And then you might take that idea, add a little bit more, and throw it back at them. And by the end of your conversation, you have this epic level idea for a campaign or a magical item or an encounter or a story arc. And that is what collaboration and building off of those who came before us can do for our games. So I highly encourage you to go out there and find the people that you look up to and consume their content. If you're having a problem, go online and Google it. Somebody else has probably already come up with a solution. Or there's a message board out there for Dungeon Masters. Reddit has tons of D&D message boards. I'm sure you can go on there and say, hey, I'm having this problem. People are gonna throw some stuff at you that may be helpful. There's tons of Facebook pages. We have like 3 local gaming pages where people can go to and talk out issues that they're having with their games or ideas that they have coming up, or hey, I came up with this cool new class and I want someone to play test it. Can somebody play test this for me and tell me if it works so that I can work out all these little kinks and issues that might be there that I haven't seen yet. So, long story short, you guys, go out there, consume some content. Don't be afraid to watch other people's actual plays or get into podcasts. I will link our friends down below. His is like a talk show. So we talk about all kinds of different things. Every episode is a new topic. You can write in and he might pull your email. We'll talk about that. So, options. But definitely, if you have any of your favorite content creators that you like to pull inspiration from, throw those down in the comments. I will throw my favorite ones down in the description. And until next time, keep it rolling, adventurers.